Hello, everybody. So this is Thoughts with Queen T. It's also just going to kind of be probably more of like a little bit of a maybe story time-ish. I know there are always discussions when it comes to religion and when, especially when it comes to Thoughts with Queen T, it's normally something like that triggers that something that normally like sparks the thought in my mind. So recently, this last week, it's been a while since I've posted something. I apologize. It's been a busy week, last couple weeks. I promise to hopefully like be a little bit more on top of it. I've had a lot more ideas on what to talk about, be a little bit more open. But this last week, me and my mom went to go visit some family, and went and visited one of my alma maters there. And the school that I went to, so I guess I should, I'm just kind of rambling. So the discussion today is going to be religion. So for some, it's a truly passionate thing, something that really connects them when it comes to family, something that really like helps them get through life. For some, they truly just despise it for different reasons, whether, and I'm not going to list all of them, but there's many different reasons that I've heard, from different individuals. For me, it's been a very much of a teeter-totter. Growing up as a kid, my dad was much more into the idea of us praying, before we would eat. And it's kind of same with, honestly, my mom's parents as well. So my maternal grandparents. But as time went on, that really wasn't done as much. It was kind of loosened a little bit. But definitely when I was growing up as a kid, it was something that my dad really wanted us to do. We went to church almost every Sunday. Growing up, we would either go with like my grandfather, because when I was little, we did live in the same town as my paternal grandfather, and everything. So we would go, and definitely everyone who, went to church there knew us because my grandfather had been going to church there for years. So he was like kind of the star member there, kind of like the cool kid that everyone knew. So, being that, his son was going there and I was his granddaughter, and that was fine. But then we moved and, we didn't find a new church to go to. So that's kind of where it started to dwindle a bit. And in Kansas, my dad really wanted me to be, I would say, confirmed in the Lutheran faith. So that is the faith that we are in. And so, had to go to Bible study. And in my experiences, like after, I would say, the grace period of being a small child where, you can, I wouldn't say get away with anything, but like, I don't know, you're kind of oblivious to things. When it came to, I would say, middle school age and maybe even later elementary school, you definitely pick up on things, but I would definitely say middle school. So like once we moved to Kansas and started to go to the church there, definitely I loved the older crowd that went there. We would talk to these, we would stay after, how normally they have like a smaller get together after the service. And, there were these like older German ladies and we would just talk to them and they were delightful. They were gems. I loved them. But I hated going to confirmation classes. I hated it because I don't know. Like, I was not a cool kid growing up. I'm very shy. I'm very nervous. And, going to confirmation classes, like, I don't know, you really felt like you didn't belong. Mind you, it was like 5 kids. But like, I was so happy when I was able to work ahead, because I'm like, oh, praise be, I don't need to come here any longer than I need to, because I really hated it. Like, one time I came in with sunglasses on because I just like wanted to be a little cool. And my pastor was like, Taylor, can you please take off the sunglasses? I was like, fine. Like, I guess. Like, I really, really didn't want to be there. Not because I didn't want to learn. I wanted to learn on my own, which, again, glad I could do ahead of time. And then I could get confirmed ahead of everyone else on my own. It was great. But after that, like, after being confirmed, and then we moved again, church really wasn't a thing. I don't think I went to church again until I went to college. So my college, I wouldn't say was a religious college per se, but it was predominantly a Catholic college. That is like what it was known for. However, you didn't have to be Catholic to go there. Honestly, like, most of the students there were not Catholic. I should not say that, but a lot of the students there were not Catholic. So like, I would go to masses, with my friends. I would go there, for choir and everything. But, it would not bother me, but even for one of my religious courses, the thing is, I have nothing against, I love learning. So like, I loved learning about different religions. I loved learning about like what makes each one different. What are the aspects, the beliefs, etc., etc. Loved writing papers on them. And so, like, one of my classes I was in, we would go to, like, different churches and, like, kind of participate, So, essentially, you'd go to church. And so, for mine, one was you'd go to there were different churches. But the group I was in, you would go to a Lutheran church of some kind. Like, there was different ones in the area. And then you'd go to a Catholic church of some kind, many in the area, yet again. It just, I don't know. Like, and this is even, like, my grandparents would still go to church. And they were, I think it was Protestant. Like, they just went to go once, just to go feel like they did, like, their, good, like, they went because they were members for such a long time to the church that they went to. However, the pastors recently retired, so now I don't think they go as often because they don't like the new pastor. But it just, when I would go to different services or when I would go to these churches on my own, I felt uncomfortable. And when I say that, I don't mean I didn't, when I say that, it's just I could see people looking at me, people talking, like, if you want to talk to me, that's fine. I'm just here. Like, let me be here. I'm trying to sit in the way back so nobody sees me. Like, I just want to be and just be. Like, let me participate in my own way. And I understand church is like a community thing, but it takes me time. Like, And that's what I really enjoyed. Like, one of the churches I went to, a part of that class, like, people left me alone. And that was the Lutheran church. And I was like, these people get me. I'm like, you're leaving me alone. You understand. And, you know, also, like, what gets me is, like, I don't like when it's, you know, oh, you don't go, like, you obviously don't believe. I feel you don't need to go. And so, like, if you don't go, that doesn't mean you don't believe. Like, for me, I do believe there's maybe something out there, something maybe spiritual. Is it God? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have that answer. I don't know. I'm not a philosophical person of any kind. If you believe that is God, that is you. Like, that's great. It is something spiritual to me. I don't know what it is. But yes, do I feel there is maybe something out there? For sure. I feel that 100%. Don't know what that is, though. But I do, like, honestly, I, you know, treat people how you, I follow the golden rules, honestly. Treat people how you want to be treated. Be kind. And, you know, just be a decent human being. That is honestly how I live my life. And I hope for the best. And if I get strike down, I get strike down. But, you know, I was raised the way I was raised, and I feel, you know, if you believe in that, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. Each person has their own viewpoint and their own way of life. And I think that, you know, that's something that is beautiful, but also kind of sad. Because one of the things that I've learned in my many years of schooling is, you know, one of the reasons for wars is religion. In the past, many reasons was because of religion. And so, you know, it's always a toss-up as to, you know, you don't want to say, not saying you don't want to admit what's right and what's wrong, but people want to assume they're right and not wrong, and that everything that they believe, what they believe, everyone else should believe. And that's not the case. That's not how life works. That's not how the world revolves. And so I thought of this topic for many reasons. One, because I visited, you know, my school, made me think of it. I watch a lot of documentaries on, like, cults, and many cults are based on religion. So I definitely wanted to talk about that for a while. So, I mean, that's kind of my background with it. I mean, again, I'm not spiritual in the sense, like, I try to pray, and I do. Like, in a sense, I pray that, like, good things happen to, like, you know, good people, and, like, not saying that the world continues to revolve, but essentially, like, with the Ukraine, and, like, what's going on there, and, you know, people who are, you know, in danger or in trouble, you know, constantly praying for them, that sort of thing, like, kind of hoping good things for good people, hoping that, you know, terrible things that are happening would end at some point, but it's, God isn't genie, so doesn't grant wishes, but, you know, if you kind of put that hope out there, it's kind of what it is to me. So, you know, that's kind of my thoughts on it. an open discussion, if you will. So if you would like, feel free to type how you feel in the comments down below. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.